Welcome back to Outnumbered. Well, they've never held office before, but outsiders appear to be taking over the 2016 race. Donald Trump is the front runner for the GOP, while retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson and businesswoman Carly Fiorina are now surging. New polling showing that Trump is leading Iowa with 22%. Carson's right behind him, and Fiorina is making the top 5 now. Meantime, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent running as a Democrat and an avowed socialist, appears to be gaining in popularity. A recent poll showed him leading Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire, and an estimated 100,000 people have reportedly attended his events. That's more than anybody in just the past month. So is this the era of the outsider candidate, Ainsley Earhardt? What do you think?
You know what? This is like watching a football game. You always know the stronger team's usually going to win, but you're still pulling for the underdog because it's exciting. It's the same thing in politics. Usually the stronger candidate, the one with the most experience, is going to win. But it's been a lot of fun to watch. But if you look at the last election, at this point, Rick Perry was on top. Herman Cain was on top. So much can change. We have, what, another year and a half left?
Well, there seems to be, Sandra, this divide between the establishment and the base and the grassroots. And you see it in the Republican Party. The man that they attach most to the establishment is Jeb Bush, who can't seem to really break into that #1 spot. Here's his strategy on how he's going to get the nomination. Listen.
It's the long haul. I'm in this. I tell people I'm the tortoise in the race. I like it. I think you got to have the long view, slow, steady progress. We have a plan to get to the finish line as the winner in a way that will allow me to take on Hillary Clinton.
Slow. You can say that again. I don't know if that's the right analogy I would use, because that tortoise just creeping along. A tortoise presidency makes me want to hurl. Go ahead.
And I just wonder, Andrea, maybe you could answer this question, how much, and this has been pointed out by some conservatives, about how much of this is about GOP leaders overpromising heading into the 2014 election cycle. And people are fed up with where we are right now based on what happened then.
I think you're hitting the nail on the head. It's people looking, all right, the Republicans control the Senate and the House of Representatives. What have they done? Nothing. They should put bills together, put them before the president's desk. They have to change Washington. I think the refreshment of a Donald Trump standing up there saying things that we all agree with. Sometimes he says them a little wrong, but Donald Trump's right on the message with what we all feel. We feel about the IRS. We feel about the flat tax. We feel about the idea of all these issues that Donald's talking about. I think it's resonating. We want change. We want change in Washington.
Right.
Get something done, damn it.
Well, I think there is a hunger for leadership, Harris. They want that blunt speaking. That's why a blunt speaking candidate. That's why Trump is surging. So maybe the analogy that's better is someone should be the hare, the one that just races right through and never slows down.
That the tortoise and the hare never had a rematch? That's because I don't think the tortoise thinks he could win twice. Like, he knows the component of speed in a race. Like, even the turtle gets that. One thing I would say about this group of outsiders, though, if you're part of the Senate, it's going to be tough if you look at Congress's approval rating. It's just going to be tough. These outsiders aren't just outside Washington. They are not in Congress. Governors have a decided advantage because they've run economies. But I call the outsiders the quote-unquote can't help myself. Because when you ask them a question, I can't help myself. I have to answer it. Did you see Dr. Ben Carson on Fox News yesterday? I mean, ask all about the economy. He couldn't help himself. Let me finish. He couldn't help himself getting the answer out, because there's no political component to keep him from talking. He hasn't been burned politically yet. He hasn't lost a campaign that hinged on one quote or one soundbite. I mean, that's what you get from the outsiders. They can't help themselves.
Well, and Ainsley, you also, real quick, Bo, and Ainsley, you also see from the governors, they have these really strong records, because I think what Bo's pointing to is really important. Republicans worked hard to retake the House and the Senate, and they've squandered that power. What has Congress done? And I think the base is saying, we don't want somebody who's part of the establishment that squandered all our hard work. We want a leader with
America
results.
should have an informational source. What is my congressman saying? What he's doing? What is he voting? What is my senator doing? And let the people know how they're voting, what they're voting, so this way we can rate them.
Well, we have that. It's called Google.
Yeah, but my problem is the American public doesn't do it. Let's have a station, like Fox should have a station. We turn it on. What did the Congress do today? And let everybody know about it.
It would be a blank station. We have it. It's called C-SPAN, and it's boring as heck because nothing's going on.
You know what's great, though?
Harris is the only viewer.
After the debate, though, did all of your friends have the same consensus that they liked Kasich, they liked Huckabee, they liked this guy, this guy, this guy, but everyone said the GOP has really strong leaders this year?
Yeah, but does
Rubio
that
put it
enthuse?
best.
Go ahead.
He said, we are blessed to have so many. It became a meme. We're blessed to have so many. And he says the Democrats have yet to find just one good one.
What were you going to say, Sandra?
The question is, does that enthusiasm historically translate to votes?
You're right. You're absolutely right. And the enthusiasm, at least on the Republican side, is really strong. On the left, it's more with Bernie Sanders and not with their frontrunner, which spells trouble. By the way, my mom watches C-SPAN too.